And whenever you want.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How's this lovely weather out there? Terrible. Well, my topic today is about mental health. I'm sure many of you have probably dealt with people, angry people, all kinds of people. But did you ever think they might have some type of mental illness, but you don't know how to talk to them? Well, a lot of people are not aware of how high the mental health is. There's a lot of people that are actually sick out there, that are homeless, that are actually wanting help, but they don't know who to go with, and a lot of people are not educated on mental health. I work at a group home, and these are the types of mental illnesses I deal with on a daily basis. I work probably 5 times a week, so I deal with them pretty much every day. The main ones that I deal with are schizophrenia, schizoaffective, which are both about the same. Schizophrenia is higher than schizoaffective, and bipolar. There's other ones I also deal with, but those are mostly the ones that people are not really aware of. And when they think about schizophrenia, they think, oh, well, are they dangerous? Aren't you scared? They're just humans, like all of us. They just have a chemical imbalance like everyone else. It's just something in their brain that's not working properly, and that's the way they were born, or it could be genetic. Here's a couple of statistics. 1.1%, about 2.6 million Americans, adults have schizophrenia, which is huge. 6.7 are major depressive disorder, affects about 15.7 million American adults. 2.6% are bipolar. 4.1 are ADHD. I'm sure everyone has some type of mental illness, but everyone knows how to control it better than others. I'm sure maybe many of you have been depressed, have ADHD, but some people are able to control that and some aren't, and that's why most of these people need help. The first one I'm going to talk about is schizophrenia. One of my ladies, she's very outgoing, she's funny, she's just like one of us. She had a normal life, she had money, she had a life an American person would want. She had the car, she had luxury, she had everything. And just one snap in her life ruined. She caught her husband with her sister in bed, and so there's some stuff in life that we can't deal with. And when people deal with stuff like this, they can't snap out of it, and they get sick, and somehow they can't snap out of it, so they need help. So she was diagnosed with schizophrenia at around age 30. Schizophrenia is a disorder of the mind, but treatable by antipsychotic medications. There are 5 different types of schizophrenia: hallucinations, delusions, disorganized behavior, disorganized speech, and negative thoughts. The lady I deal with, she has paranoid schizophrenia. She's always paranoid that someone's talking about her. That's delusions. Sometimes she thinks that she's a pope. Sometimes she thinks like the Obama took all of her ideas. She's a character. She's funny. I love her. She could be funny sometimes, but she gets depressed probably once a month. When she's depressed, she's in her room for about hours and hours and hours, and we have to check on her every 15 minutes. She's staring in the wall, just looking like everyone else. We all go through depression, but she needs help. She needs antipsychotic medication because she was labeled as schizophrenia. So in that case, she gets a couple medications. Here's the statistics on schizophrenia. It says schizophrenia are people that with schizophrenia, over 2.2 million people suffer from the illness. Starts in early adulthood. It says it here, age onset in years. So right here the diagram demonstrates general age on males is 18 and women 25 years old. The lady I work with, she was diagnosed, I believe, around in her 30s. She's been in the group home for over 10 years. It's a regular house. These are the treatments and medication that she receives at the house. The most commonly used for schizophrenia is Haldol, Perfenazine, Clozapine, Zyprexa, Seroquel. Many people that need help or need treatment go to these facilities, which are group homes, hospitals. They get psychotherapy, psychology. She sees a psychologist every week, and it's for 10 years. And she's about 65 years old. She's not dangerous. She's most caring person ever. She calls me her daughter because apparently her imaginary friend is named Colette. And so she looks for her all the time. And apparently she looks like me, which is kind of scary, but I mean, I love her to death. I tell her I love her, and she's just one of us, just a little bit of chemical imbalance in her brain. Another client of mine that I deal with, she has schizoaffective. She also has bipolar, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. Schizoaffective is like schizophrenia, but it's less common. Schizophrenia is more common than schizoaffective. Schizoaffective are mood disorders. It's like bipolar, so one day she'll be happy, and then one day she'll be very, very depressed. She'll be in her room sitting, and I'm like, oh, she has social anxiety. She doesn't like being around people much. She can be out and about shopping once in a while, but she needs more attention. She needs help. She needs our support because her family does not understand where she's coming from. And that is why I feel like a lot of these people are not aware of mental illness. They should be more educated. And there are classes out there for people to take. So schizoaffective is just a chemicals imbalance in your brain. These are some of the symptoms that she goes through: sadness and hopelessness. Like she's 58 years old. The way she copes with her anxiety and her disorders is by smoking cigarettes. She smokes about a pack a day. And it's sad, but at the same time, it's her decision. We do as much as we can to support her. And she knows we love her. I've been in the company for over 2.5 years, and I see staff come and go all the time. All the time. Staff can't last about maybe a month or two, they're gone. Like it's a difficult job. It's mentally stressful sometimes, and yeah, sometimes I do want to cry, and I do cry. It's sad. It's a whole different environment. And when I first started working in this field, I was in my 20s. I'm 23 now, but I was 20 years old when I first started, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. We took classes. They taught us about medications because we give medications, but that's about it. They didn't really tell us what we were really getting ourselves into. I didn't know. I was young. I did not know. But now that I'm getting older, I'm kind of realizing that life changes in this, like, in 1 second. And these people's lives are pretty much controlled. Sometimes they say, I wish I just had a normal life. I wish people weren't always constantly bothering me, taking my medications. We just got a new lady. She also has schizophrenia, and she's been living in a hospital for probably a year or two. In a hospital, a year or two. She didn't have her own home. She believes she doesn't have schizophrenia. She's really smart. These women are intelligent. Just because they have an illness does not necessarily mean they're stupid or they're dumb. They're actually, I think, smarter than we are. Because their brain is just working constantly different ways, and they think different ways, and they're very intelligent women and very creative. And one of my ladies who has schizophrenia, she had a degree in art. She was a famous artist. She's a great painter, everything, but just in one click, her life just kind of went downhill. But I give them hope, I'm still here. We help them, we support them, we take them out shopping. They're just normal people. They're human beings. They're not animals. They should be treated equally. Here's some statistics on schizoaffective. It only affects about 1 in 100 people. Like I said, it's not that common like schizophrenia. Affects about 200 people and affects more women than men, because women, it takes longer for women to cope with mental illness. Men can kind of snap out of it quicker than women. Here's some other treatment and medications: antipsychotic medication, antidepressants. So they receive long-care treatments in facilities. And then bipolar here is also about the same thing. All schizophrenia, schizoaffective, they're all about the same thing, just chemicals imbalance in the brain. And some symptoms include high and low moods, overly happy or overly sad, sudden changes from angry to happy. Like one of my ladies, she'll be happy in for 5 minutes. Then the next one, you bitch, she's, yeah, it's a whole different environment. Like she'll be happy for 5 minutes, other 5 minutes she'll be throwing stuff. It's a different environment. But I love the ladies. They're women and they're human beings just like everyone Here's statistics on bipolar. Affects men and women equally. It's another very common illness. It affects 5.7 million of adults live with bipolar. The average age is 25 years old. So they could become manic depressed. It's just a whole different illness. So they are treated. So these are some of the medications they also take: Cyprexa, Giordano, Mental, Prozac, therapy, long-term care, the group whom I work at. If you want to learn more about mental illness, there's a class taking classes called NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness. I believe it's in Apple Valley. It's for people that have families or know friends and families that have a mental illness and would like to learn more about it. Also reading and educating yourself, because not a lot of people know about these illnesses. They don't. There's homeless people out there sometimes, and people are not aware of, oh, they might have a mental illness. And many of them are also in jail, but most of them are in hospitals and nursing homes and group homes, where I work at. If you want to know more about their life, more about their health, maybe volunteering at shelters. There's a lot of shelters out there to volunteer, facilities and hospitals. It's a whole different environment, just life, and it just opens your eyes to different types of illnesses that are out there. And I love my job because I help them feel better. There's someone there to support them, that their families don't understand what they're going through. And sitting down with them and talking to them and asking them, how are you feeling today, makes them feel like someone does care for them. And when I go there, I go in with a smile. They love when I'm there because I've been there for 2.5 years, and like I said, not a lot of people could handle this type of illnesses. It's a difficult job, mentally stressful, but I tell myself, why not give those that really need it, that really need support, that they can't find support from no one else. They just want someone to care for them. And I enjoy my job. That's why. I leave with a happy smile.